This is quite large. It's about 12 feet tall. Bunny rabbits and portraits. And that's about 15 feet tall. It's installed outside this lady's swimming pool in France. Awful shirt. That's an installation view in a gallery. That pile of heads is again about 10 feet tall. And that's a scarecrow installed in a park in Austria. But it's like that guy with a hat, looking less like Abe Lincoln, I hope this time. Here's a little tabletop model, and here's a 7 foot tall. This is a fountain. In the barrel he's sitting in, the water comes up to the edge and kind of flows around the sides very quietly. There's the same one installed somewhere else. And this is 12 feet tall. It's walking through the fields at my farm. And here's another cast of the same sculpture walking on a street in downtown St. Louis. It's on Olive Street, if anyone knows St. Louis. Little paintings of telephones and a sculpture of a telephone. I'm just kind of going to go fast because I think you guys all have to be somewhere. So, yeah, feet, hands and feet. So these are the crowd paintings I was talking about earlier, where I just wanted to fill up every possible square inch of these white fields. That's a big one. And then they've become colorful more recently, the crowd paintings. This is pretty recent. So this has the insanity of the collage in the background, and then what I'm trying to do is fill up as much as possible with painted images, the other layer of the picture plane. Trying to make it as hard for myself as possible. And these are all composed as I'm painting. I'll paint one head and then paint the other head in relation to that head, and then the next head. And I got very interested in skulls at a certain point. I got a tattoo of a skull to cover up a scar, and got very interested in the kind of culture of skulls in tattoo and flash art, which is what tattoo artists call their preparatory drawings. So I've done quite a few paintings of skulls in the last few years. That's another painting painted on a drop cloth, and this is these are getting gigantic. That's about it's about 10 feet tall, probably. I don't know where these are. These are kind of out of order. This painting belongs to Dennis Hopper. So does that one, or they did. Now I don't know who owns them now. He was a great collector, Dennis Hopper. This is a bunch of little tiny paintings. They're all about 24 by 24 inches that I kind of wanted to go through quickly, just to show a little bit of the variety of some of the kind of images I'm interested in. Because sometimes on the larger paintings, it tends to get reduced to a few of my main obsessions: flowers and ice cream cones. These are I do hundreds of these little paintings. I guess they're kind of studies. They're preparatory studies, I guess you would say. And they're always 24 by 24 inches. Smiley faces. we out of time? This is all quite current. One of my quite current interests: money bags, money, representations of money, representations of cartoon wealth. You know, the diamond ring from Monopoly or someplace. I like that painting. Kind of homage to Roy Lichtenstein. This is a drawing. I liked half of the drawing, and I didn't like the other half, so I kind of butterflied it. Globes is another thing I've been really interested in lately. The whole idea of cartography and geography and where we are in the world. You know, I get people ask me that a lot, and I really don't have a good answer for it. I didn't have like a really miserable childhood or a really happy childhood, or I don't. For me, they're not really symbolic, or they're not nostalgic in terms of my own personal history. I think I'm attracted to some images because of the simplicity, and that gets equated with childhood. I mean, I don't really know how to. I've never had a satisfactory answer to that question. I'm not particularly interested in ice cream, eating ice cream, you know. But there's something about it formally that really does it for me. I don't know what it is. I continue to find something engaging about this weird structure. I used to think it was a kind of surrogate for a human, and the same for the flowers. In a certain way, they occupy a space in the picture that might be similar to the human body, but I'm not sure that's even. I'm not sure that would be accurate to say that. I could pretend that was true, but I don't think it is true. Well, maybe, who knows? I like these a lot. I think that's the last one. Oh no, here's one. This is something I've been painting a lot recently, this big colorful soccer ball thing. This is 14 feet tall. I bought a dairy farm about 5 years ago, and it came with some huge dairy barns, and it gave me the space to paint some really enormous paintings. The color is lousy on this. It's a really bright painting. This again is 14 feet tall. It's kind of, it's an interesting exercise to paint that large. It's a very athletic kind of thing. You're on ladders and long brushes. Oh, it's not the end. These are also like brand new paintings from just a couple of months ago. These sort of lonely boys kind of walking away. That's the. Do I often use projectors, at least to start the image, but then they're often adjusted. The projector is a great tool. I work from, like the drawing for this slide was probably a magic marker drawing. I actually make my own slides. I run a piece of acetate through the Xerox machine. I run acetate through the copy machine, and then I cut it out and mount it on a slide mount with Scotch tape. And it's a kind of silly, primitive process, but it lets me turn a drawing into a slide to project immediately, so that I don't have to photograph and wait for the developing and that kind of stuff. But there's so much about these paintings that has nothing to do with projection also. That's it for the images, I guess. Oop. Why do I what? Why do I what? Sorry? Why do you outline your images in both white and black? Oh, the white thing is not it's not an outline. It's I'll have this kind of collage or whatever I'm going to paint on top of. And I paint a shape that roughly resembles the shape of what I'm going to be painting. And over the years, that shape is a shape in white paint. So I'm not seeing the other stuff through the paint. And over the years, that white nimbus has gotten sloppier. So it's grown into a kind of an outline. But it's actually behind the painted image. It's not an outline. And the black line is just, I'm just interested in, I don't know, this heavy, it's very satisfying somehow. This heavy line, heavy, simple line. Cartoon type line.